machine of David Green. But nevertheless, Green is in 12th. That is his career best performance back at Talladega in '97. He finished 16th, but David Green, far and away his best performance of his career. That's great to see. A harder working guy you're not going to find.
Yeah, and Eli, you can see the leader is not pulling away from him that quickly. I mean, he's running a good race, but I got to tell anyone that's just turned on their TV set, Tony Stewart is in that zone that Ralph Shaheen was talking about. He's doing everything right. The car is working. It's got great straightaway speed, and I don't see him getting beat right now unless he makes some kind of little mistake right near the end here, because that's a great car and it's a great driver.
As you see, just 16 laps to go. 5th place, still a good one. Ricky Rudd and Dale Jarrett.
Boy, what a great run for Jarrett. Coming back from losing a lap with that flat tire, worked his way all the way to 6th spot now, challenging for 5th. See how close he came to that wall coming off the 2nd corner.
Hey, Glenn, it could have been a 70-point loss for your brother today, and now, if anything, it's going to be 5 or 8 points, if that much. So that's what the Jarrett family is busy calculating. Lap 297 of 312.
Well, this race for 5th place, next year these two guys will be teammates, but you can tell right now this is going to be a good team, multi-car or double-car team here. When you start talking about Ricky Rudd, where he's going to help Dale Jarrett, and Dale Jarrett's going to help Ricky Rudd, is the experience both those guys have and the maturity. They're going to help each other on tests. They're going to make the teams even better than they are right now. And that's scary to the people that run the 88 and the 28 next year.
Of course, Ricky Rudd still hoping to extend that streak of his to 17 years in a row with at least one victory. If it doesn't happen today, he's got the flat track at Homestead, Florida next week. And then Atlanta, where with Yates' power, you never know. He does have a victory in Atlanta in his career, but the opportunities are down to just another couple, it seems, because today he's not likely to make up 11 seconds and grab a victory.
Eli, one little caution and the whole world changes.
That's
Anything
true.
can happen in racing.
Yeah, and remember 95. Everybody thought, oh, he's not going to do it. Can't possibly happen until he came here. And this was next to the last race in 95 when Ricky Rudd won.
If things remain as is and Tony Stewart wins, it would also keep that streak alive of not seeing guys in the top 10 win here at Phoenix, because Tony started in the 11th spot today, and he said in the pre-race show, no guarantees here, because the top 10 has not yielded the success here that it has at other racetracks. Looking back, there comes Kyle Petty right there in 8th place. Only had a couple of top 10s in 1998. And this would be his 8th top 10 for Kyle this year. Matter of fact, he picks up another spot. He matches best of the year. He's had about 3 7th place finishes, now running in 8th. You know, it seems, and you guys can share your observation too, it's, you know, as fun-loving and as loose and as oftentimes walking to the beat of his own drummer that Kyle is, it seems that in the last part of this season, he's gotten a whole lot more serious about the business of racing because of his son, because of his responsibilities at Petty Enterprises. He seems to be a more mature, more serious Kyle Petty.
Let me tell you, going back to Petty Engineering wasn't the worst move that kid could make.
Yeah.
He's back under the influence of his father, Richard Petty, and anyone that knows anything about racing knows that family unity they have there, that makes these guys, that's what made Richard Petty what he was, with his brother building the motors, his father involved in the race team there. The Petty Enterprise is a very, very strong organization.
And even though he's retired now, Dale Inman is still around. He'll slap Kyle upside the head if he doesn't pay attention. I mean, but it's a good, healthy feeling. Look at that move right there. As Burton and Labonte scramble for a spot, that'll be 3rd place up for grabs.
Well, Bonnie knows he has to get up there. He's still in the points race, and every point he can get right now is very important. But passing Jeff Burton like he's doing right now, that's a power move, because Jeff Burton usually gets better near the end of the race. It looks to me like Jeff is having a problem, though, handling right now.
A lot of fire coming out of the exhaust pipe of Jeff Burton's car. That's pretty typical. We see that a lot with the number 99, particularly late in the race. Not a problem. Jack Roush just pours the fuel to it to get as much power out of his engines as he can.
All of this in the heat of the day here in Phoenix. Only 2:55 in the afternoon. 80 degrees plus outside. But with the intermittent cloud cover, the track has never really gotten unmanageable here today.
Yeah, but the sun's popped back out again, and you know some of the cars that were a little more dominant have problems when the racetrack gets hot and slick. Tony Stewart not being one of them, though.
Yeah. Nothing has affected him today. I mean, whether it's hot, whether it's cool, whether it's cloudy, whether it's sunshine. I mean, nothing has taken that Home Depot machine off its rail.
And it kind of started that way when they unloaded that race car. They did their practice laps, took it in, made some changes, and went right back to where they were before they changed anything on the car, and that's the way they timed it.
5 laps to go, Ralph, and it's still 2.8 seconds of a lead.
Eli, first Tony Stewart radioed in. They told him, Tony, just stay calm, stay calm. He said, babe, if I get any calmer, I'd be in a coma. then he pulled up behind the 28 of Kenny Irwin. You might remember those two had a little bit of a scuffle a few weeks back in Martinsville. Tony said, boy, for a guy driving with just half a splug, he's doing a pretty darn good job out here today. I guess you can forget about tough things and your old racing troubles when you're having a good day.
Yeah, and when you can do what he just did there, he passed the car on the outside, turned hard left, went by the 9 car there. When you can do that, it's fun driving a race car. Right now, I guarantee you couldn't pay him the money that he would feel that he's being out there in that great race car today is absolutely, he'd drive it for nothing.
You know what else, guys? Bill Sloboda over here just doing some ciphering, as we say. And it looks like Ford will clinch the manufacturer's title. We talked about it before. But right now, with a Pontiac leading and a Ford second, and then a Pontiac third, and a Ford, then fourth and fifth and sixth, and a Pontiac, you don't get to a Chevy until you drop way back to 9th spot. If nothing changes right there, Ford will clinch the manufacturer's title here today. And now we've got a couple of laps to go. Less than 2 miles remaining.
Jarrett made a run there on Ricky Rudd just a second ago and got caught up behind a couple of lap cars there and had to back out of the throttle, or he might have got the 5th place away from Ricky Rudd.
All the while, Jarrett, he'll come home 5th or 6th. That'll be enough to continue his way towards a championship. White flag in the air for that man. Tony Stewart, who started 11th, would become only the 2nd driver to win 2 races in his rookie season. Davey Allison, the other in 1987. Tony Stewart off the corner. Checkered flag. Tony Stewart wins at Phoenix International Raceway, the 7th Pontiac win of the year. There's a scramble right now for position. That is 10th and 11th. Gordon and Earnhardt. That is for position into turns 3 and 4. For 10th place.
Gordon puts a slide job on him. Earnhardt turned down under him.
Gordon hangs on, grabs the position. 10th for Gordon.